You're approached by someone that has a phenomenal business idea, and you have to make a decision on the spot whether to join or not. And you panic because you don't know if you want to miss this opportunity, but at the same time, you do want to think it through and not make a decision that you're gonna come to regret. So how do you actually make big decisions like this when you have to choose, when someone tells you, I want an answer now, or at least want an answer soon? So the principle I have developed through the years is to never say yes or no when I'm approached with something of this matter. So of course, a small decision on what you want to eat for lunch, of course I'm going to make a decision on that. But in the context of a business proposal or something similar, I never make a decision on the spot. So the principle I have is that I need at least one night to sleep before I can make a decision. So if you come to me with a business idea, I'm not going to be able to say yes or no to you. I'm going to say, no, I'm sorry, but I need at least one day of thinking it through. I would need one night to sleep before I can make a decision on that. And yeah, by having this principle, you're gonna miss out on some opportunities, because some people really need a decision right here, right now, on the spot. But you need to stick to your principles, and that goes far beyond just this one on decisions. Everything in life that you have built up, the principles that define who you are, you need to stick to them no matter what. So you may lose out on a business opportunity, but at the same time, you stay true to who you are and you get to really think through it. Because what happens is when you're given a choice of whether to join someone in a business or not, or similar, and you go home, you think about it, your brain processes it. That's the most important thing, that your brain gets to work on it, and you get the night of sleep. And then when you wake up, you can think a little bit more and then make a decision on that. Now, you don't have to do this, obviously. You could just make a decision there on the spot. And really, that would be the most optimal thing, if we're able to quickly think it through and have the experience so that we can make an educated decision on it. But when we don't have this experience, like I haven't been doing business before, how can I possibly accept something that's just gonna come at me with? It just doesn't make any sense. But the end point, whether or not you agree with me that you should take a night of sleep to think it through, or whether you want to make a decision right there, right now, whether you agree with me with that or not, taking a decision and then realizing that it's not working out, it wasn't for you, well, it's not only gonna hurt you, as in you having less time over for other things and having to do something you now don't feel too much for, it's also gonna hurt your reputation as someone that can just dial in and do your work. You're gonna earn a lot more respect by saying, no, I can't make decisions on the spot, I have to think it through for at least give me a day and I'll make a decision on that. You're gonna earn so much more respect by doing that, because you have your boundaries, you make them clear, you stick to your principles, and there's nothing in terms of business that earns more respect than that, sticking to yourself. There is a risk though with this principle, and that is that the people that came with the proposal to you are gonna feel as though you're not as excited or enthusiastic about the opportunity. You're gonna feel like, oh, you don't really care, so you just couldn't say yes on right there. And that's of course unfortunate, because they may themselves say, okay, if you can't make a decision now, if you don't want this enough, I'm not gonna give you this again. I'm not gonna give you this opportunity. You're not the one I search for. And that's fine, okay? That's totally fine. Because if someone doesn't really understand you and your principles, then perhaps you were not likely to, then you were most likely not gonna fit too well with them anyway in this business or project or whatever. So just keep that in mind. The people may take this, they may not understand you wanting to think it through for a day, because they think that they come to you with this proposal and they think it's so great that surely the person just has to accept it or deny it for some reason. But this yes or no, having to think it through, it may hurt them a little bit. It may get them to think that you don't really care for it, but But regardless of that, just stick to your principles and good things will come. So that's the principle. You make decisions, big decisions, by thinking it through, by getting nights of sleep before you take that decision. And through the years, as you progress, as you go more and more about things, learn more, gain experience in different areas, the experience you build up is going to allow you to make faster decisions if you have to. And when someone comes with you with a proposal, you recognize it, you know, okay, I know what kind of business this is, I know what work I have to deal with, then of course you can make a fast decision right there. But as of right now, if you're like me, you're inexperienced in these areas, then this is a very good principle to have, and one that may save you from having to deal with a lot of work that you weren't intended for. By following this principle, you're gonna come out on top most of the times. You're gonna make good decisions, and you're gonna get a lot of respect for doing so. A decision you don't need to think through that well is to subscribe. So go and do that, like the video, and watch this video on the screen right now.